guys, it's Jake here. Going to take you out on a service call with me over to an existing customer's house. I was actually at this house back at the beginning of October for a no heat call. It's a Goodman 90 plus gas furnace. Had a plugged port going into the, I believe it was the collector box. I cleared that and it was running fine. Customer called me and said that the blower stopped working. He said that it smelled hot. He felt the vents and he could feel heat but no air. So he turned the heat off and put the fan in the on position. And he said that he couldn't feel any air coming out of the vents, and he said it started smelling hot again. So maybe we got a bound up blower motor, maybe a back capacitor, not really sure. I did offer him a maintenance last time I was there to go through and check the system, offered a combustion analysis. He declined all that. He said the unit's so old. And they had just put in a train heat pump on their second floor, so he wanted to leave it alone at that time. So I'm going to go out and see if I can't figure this one out. Hopefully I can get him up and heating again. Okay, so this is the unit here. You can tell it's been painted. This was all rusted out here at one point. This homeowner who owns this place now didn't do this. It was a previous owner. I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up. Thermostat is off, and he actually turned off the switch down here. I'm just going to see first off if this motor's tight. Alright, so this is the unit. Run capacitors right here. Let's just see if this motor's tight. Oh yeah, man, that thing's bound up. Oh, that's hard to turn right there. Holy smokes. I don't hear any metal rubbing, so it doesn't sound like the wheel came loose. But we got a motor that's bound up. I'll need to get a motor, price on a motor for this. But yeah, this is definitely got a bad motor. I don't even need to test voltage on it. That thing is super tight. Looks like he's got quite a bit of debris in the wheel. I gotta hustle here because I got another one. With this cold weather, I've been pretty busy lately. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh yeah, last time I was here, this port right here had debris in it. I cleared it and it's run perfectly fine ever since. But yeah, he said that he smelled something hot and he didn't feel any more air out of the vents, so he turned it off and went to fan on, and with fan on he said he didn't really feel any air and it sounded like it was trying to start, and he said he smelled the heat again. So we've got a bound up motor. I'm gonna have to disconnect these low voltage wires. I'll have to pull that temp limit right there. It's a rollout like temp limit resettable. It just pushes out like that. There's a little tab that locks in right there. Pretty sure on this, since this has these, I'll have to pull those out. They won't, that motor won't clear these brackets. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull it and see what size it is and stuff, and see if I can't get this thing fixed up for him. Pretty cold out right now. I'm just disconnecting the low voltage right now. Pretty standard. We got a red from the outdoor unit. It's AC here, straight air, going to yellow, the Y call, and the blue going over to common. Power. Oh, I'm losing my camera. Power's off, of course. Pop that out. There we go. Okay, I should have two quarter-inch screws back here. Pop out. There's 3 screws on the board that hold the board in place, 2 up top, and then there's one over here on the side. Right there. I'll have to take right there. I'll have to take that one off too. Alright, now that I got this disconnected here, I just push it over to the side. Got my low voltage over to the side. Remember, I removed those little keepers for the screws here, so I should be able to just pull that out now. Alright, well, I don't have that motor on my van. It's only a 3rd horsepower. I got a 3/4 horse 1075, and this is a 3rd horse 1075. I'm going to contact the local Goodman dealer and see what I can find out here. That stinks. I was hoping I'd have it, and it's got those stupid ears on it, the little mounting brackets, the wings. I do have a band on my van, so if they got, I'll give them a price on a US motors, because that's the kind of universal motor they carry, and then I'll give them a price on an OEM. I always suggest OEM blowers, this thing being as old as it is. It's 20 years old. I would imagine that you might want to go with the universal motor. They've been pretty proud of these OEM motors here lately. Okay, I got the set screw loosened here. I got the shaft sanded. I forgot to bring in my PP Blaster aero coil. That thing's not budging. That wheel is pretty bad too, so I'm gonna have to scrape that. I'm not gonna take it out and wash it because it is so cold. I'm gonna scrape it with my screwdriver, turn this thing upside down, and vac it out. I brought my shop vac in. Ended up going with the US motors, 1075 RPM. It's actually a little less amps than what he's got now. Same exact horsepower. It's the I guess the Goodman's Universal. That's what this supply house carries, at least. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this thing pulled. Something I always like to do when I'm doing these blowers, I like to mark where the screws are. I like to put an arrow where the wire terminates, where the wires come off the motor. Then I like to put a G for ground, where my ground plug goes. Alright, I got the puller on it. I ended up not going outside to get the aero coil or PB Blaster. I want to make sure when you're putting those in, that you're not going into the set screw hub, you know, where the set screw goes on the hub of this blower wheel. Hopefully this thing will come off easy peasy. Oh yeah, smooth. That's smooth. Well, it came right off of there. I didn't even mess with trying to free it up. I just put a channel lock on it, was wiggling it. Wasn't moving. I was like, I'll just try it with the puller. It's pretty quick. Look how dirty that thing is, man. I can't even turn it. I can, right there, that's about as hard as I can get with those fingers. I can barely move that thing. It is tighter than Dick's hat band. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take these off, and I'm going to clean this wheel. I'm going to use a screwdriver, brush, and brush the wheel out, shake it out, vacuum it up, and then clean this up a little bit too. Boy, this is a dusty job here. Look at that. Woo! Cut myself. I always cut myself. My hands are already like chapped from being out here in the snow. They crack open and bleed all the time. All I do is basically take this like thermostat screwdriver and lightly rub it in there, and then go through all the blades all the way around, and then I got to turn this thing over and dump it all out. You can see it's all loose there, what I've taken out. Right here's a pile, right there's a pile. I'm going to turn that over and shake that stuff out of there, and then once I mount the motor on this, I'll turn it over again onto this part on the ground and spin the wheel and kind of spin the rest of the stuff out of there. It's just too cold to be hooking up a hose outside, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to use my brush too. I like this thermostat screwdriver because it's got some flat sides on it, and it does good at getting in there. You don't go hard on it, you don't want to mess up any of the weights or anything like that. You just need to knock that stuff loose. Luckily this isn't greasy, it's very dry, very dusty. Check out that pile. I mean, that's deep. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and suck that up with my vacuum. First I'm going to blow the wheel out with my shop vac. Blow through it and get all the debris out of it. I'm in here in an unfinished area. I'm actually going to take it outside and do that though. There's a basement door I can go out, so I'm going to go out there and blow this thing out, get all that debris loosened from it. I already shook it out, and then I'll do one final spin once I get the motor in and just make sure I don't have anything remaining. Got this all wiped down as well. Okay, I just dry fit this thing and lined up my wires where I want it. The little rubber grommets with the metal stop, it's on the inside, but I need it to be on the outside, so this is where I'm putting them. So if you want to get these out of here, they're easy to take out. I find that if you take out the little metal insert, it makes it a lot easier to take these and put them right back in. You can just do it real quick like that, and then you put this side where the screw goes. And the screw is going to be, of course, screwing into this right here. It's got a washer on it, a locking washer. And then we're just going to do this one real quick as well. So just pop it out, take out the little metal grommet, the insert, put the rubber washer in where you need it, which is on the outside one. And then again, this just presses right in there. You'll fight with it if you don't take that metal out. I'm sure you can do it, but I always find it easier just to take that out. Alright, so when I put these in, I like to just put them in by hand like that, and then put all three in, and then I use just a socket, or I also have a Klein screwdriver does it, but I didn't bring it in here. I just use that and hand tighten it to this, right, all the way around, a little bit at each time so it doesn't get bound up. Also, I didn't like this here because this is different than what's on the original motor, and it almost didn't seem like it was the metal insert. I guess it would touch through there, but I found just another location up here to go ahead and ground the motor here. I just put it into this screw. It's touching metal, so that's what I'm going to do and leave it there. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the set screw in, and once the set screw is kind of where I want it, I'm going to tighten these the rest of the way down, and then tighten the set screw and make sure it's centered. Alright, got the motor back in, got the cap labeled, dated, new cap in there, 7.5, the old one was a 12.5. So we're going to let this thing fire up, make sure it sounds okay in the fan on position. We're going to go ahead and wait on this thing, the Nest thermostat to power up, turn on the fan on call, make sure we don't have any weird noises or anything. Everything's okay, then we'll go ahead and kill the fan call. Pull this off, put the doors on, and fire the heat. Do a temperature split. We're going to test the temporize and a CO test. Alright, so we're running now and fan on. He's going to go ahead and turn on the heat call, the homeowner. So we're going to turn the fan back to auto, power this thing up in heat, and make sure that it's working as it should. Alright, running in heat mode. Nice and quiet here. Alright, well, I'm leaving that job right now. Got another one to go to, another Goodman unit. The next one I'm going to is a heat pump, a blower motor replacement on a heat pump. I didn't record the diagnostic on that, so I'm not going to record the repair, but got that one up and running. I did a temporize test on it. We were getting mid-40s on the temporize, 0 parts per million, carbon monoxide inside the living space. So I'm going to call that one okay. Again, I suggested some maintenance on that gas furnace. He just doesn't want to spend any money on it, and I don't blame him. He just spent a bunch of money replacing his second floor heat pump this past summer. Put in a train. I did not do the job. He asked me to do it. I said no and referred him over to a guy now, and they installed that system for him. But yeah, I don't blame him for not wanting to put a bunch of money into that system. Hopefully that motor, it's by US Motors, made in Mexico. Hopefully it'll last a while for him and give him a pretty good service life. But you never know. Seems like today the parts just don't last like they used to. But it is what it is. But yeah, they're good people. I'm glad I was able to get over there and help them out, restore the heat. Not having heat right now is pretty rough. It is supposed to warm up. Today the high was like 33. It's been getting down in the teens at night. And next week we're supposed to be highs in the low 20s with lows in the single digits. So it's going to get real cold next week. Anyways, I want to say thanks for watching. I appreciate the support, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Leave a comment. Comments and likes help grow the channel. Anything you can do, I'd appreciate it. If not, no worries. You guys stay safe out there. Get home safe to your families. Talk to you later.